throw strikes,
Yeah.
compete in the zone. I think, last week, at times it was like we weren't in the zone enough, but then when we were in the zone, it was term we use is called 5 zone, which just means a middle.
Sure.
When we did get back in the zone, it was 2 middle. And so, yeah, I mean, going back, looking at where they've had success, not only where they've had success, but where they're trying to throw the ball and get them back to executing. There's so many things, right? I mean, I could sit down and talk to you about for hours, but off-speed execution is we're throwing it in the zone, but we're throwing it like in the middle of the plate instead of off.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got to get better at that.
Mm-hmm. You're a big belief guy. Obviously, you've told us that many times.
100%.
When you're working with guys who maybe, I won't say doubting themselves. That's not the right word, because these guys have been pitched a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But to kind of get them back on track, that belief, kind of where does that come into play?
Yeah, I mean, you show them where you show them video of themselves having success, which is what we've done. It's like, hey, I'm not asking. I tell. It's kind of like when a guy does something really good, like Zach Harris on Tuesday night. We've worked so hard on getting his changeup back, and he throws a really good changeup. And the running joke is when he comes in, I tell him good news, bad news.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is you threw your changeup where we've been working on. The bad news is you threw your changeup where, so I expect it every time now, right? So that's a joke, but my point is it's not, pitchers don't walk away. They don't have ball, doesn't have legs.
Yeah.
And so you haven't lost anything. Maybe you've lost some confidence, but as far as your stuff goes, it's still there.
Mm. And I promise I'll jump ahead to this weekend, but just one more thing about last weekend. When pitchers are struggling like that, the bats weren't quite where they have been, and obviously you're stepping up SEC play, Kentucky, different animals, so to speak, and all that. But were there times where the pitcher struggling, maybe the bats try to overcompensate, you think, a little bit, or is that?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it's just perfect. It was perfect. A lot of perfect storms, right?
Yeah.
That happened this weekend, especially you start on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about this for a long time, but I'll try to keep it short. Finley's throwing the ball, starting to settle in, swing and bunt. They get on. He throws another pitch, clips his heel. He wasn't trying to stop it. It just hits on his follow-through, clips his heel. That was a surefire double play.
Yeah.
I mean, you look, and then boom, a hit. And so you need bats at that point to help overcome some of the breaks you just didn't get. And we didn't get any of that. And then, we can talk about Sunday. I mean, we fly ball in left field. Just a lot of things that we've got to be able to overcome in big situations. You look, that ball actually hit. You can go back and watch it on video. It hit in his glove or hit on his glove, and we don't catch it. We catch that. That's a 0 that inning. You come back in. You've overcome the 17-minute delay from the umpire thing. A lot of things to build off, and we just didn't get that break to really help a pitcher truly settle in on Saturday or Sunday. And to your point, sometimes when you don't get those breaks defensively or in the field, you need your bats to come in and settle it down. And hey, man, we're not gonna hit every weekend. Believe me, I want us to. But I would be an absolute. I don't even know what you'd call me if I sit up here and told you we're going to hit every weekend for 14 straight. Be some kind of world record? I don't know.
It would be.
Yeah.
Especially in the SEC when stuff like that can happen.
So a lot of factors that we've got to get better on the mound, and a lot of it's mental. Like, you got to be able to overcome some of that and be able to settle back in, and we didn't do a good job of that this past weekend.
Obviously, this is just the first weekend. They're going to be weekends like you just alluded to. They're going to be weekends like this in this conference where things are not going to go your way. But again, just kind of stressing the point again, just how difficult this league is. You've got to really be on point.
I can use an example. I was scouting obviously this weekend, scouting Alabama, and you look at it on Sunday, man. You talk about a tough break. They Tennessee's pitching the ball fine. They've got the lead. Alabama hits the ball. And it looks like the guy's shortstop's going to for sure hit it. It hits second base, pops up, goes into the outfield, 3-run home run. They go down.
Yeah.
And so it's like, sometimes on the it's a really good league. There's really good players on both sides, both teams, and a lot of times it comes down to who can deal the best with adversity, and that's where we've got to get better at.
And speaking of which, you got a lot of older guys who have dealt with adversity before with their careers, their prior homes. How much does that help, having guys who have been through it and know how to bounce back?
100%. It's big. It's something that you're able to lean back on and draw from and lean on.
Cool.
I mean, obviously, with a loss, and losing a series, how do you kind of take that and turn that into motivation? Like, how do you kind of use that as something to build on?
I hope that's not what it takes to motivate us, right? I mean, I hope just the desire to get better every day, to work on your craft, to because our game is not like football or even basketball for that matter. I mean, we play so much that it's like our whole focus after the weekend we got back and we practiced on Monday, and it was like, no, I mean, our focus can't even be close to being on Alabama or SEC. We got a really good Wofford team coming in, and for us to get better as a team, as players, as coaches, we got to lock in and coach this game and get better at approach and better at throwing strikes and better at a lot of things. So we really just focus more every day about trying to be good. Not only trying to be good, but get better. And hopefully we'll see some of the fruits of the labor that we put in this week.
Yeah, and then coming off of a game where you put up about 18 runs, how much confidence does that give you, especially going into another SEC, weekend slate?
Yeah, no, I mean, guys got off some good swings. I mean, like I said, man, that was a good Wofford team. Came in, it was 7, I don't know what they
lost 3 or 4 games going in, yeah.
Yeah, 13-4, and hadn't lost. I think at that time, 4-0 was the worst loss they had. A lot of 3-2. I think it was 2 3-2 losses. I mean, so they were playing good baseball, and so for our guys to come in with a good approach and get off some good swings, and then I thought Zach DeVito, I thought our first 3 arms we ran out there did a really nice job. Zach DeVito, Zach Harris, and DJ Racky, I thought they all threw the ball really well, and it was good to see. I mean, we can focus on the latter half of the game, but those 3 guys, we put in a lot of work with those guys, and to see them come out and do some things we've been working on was really nice.
You stick Corey in the leadoff spot a couple of times now. It really paid off for it the other day. Is that something kind of going back and forth with him and
yeah, I mean, I quoted the Moneyball line today.
Did
right?
you?
I mean, it was about, hey, I don't care if you can steal or just get on base, right? So I mean, all joking aside, I mean, Corey gets on base.
Yeah.
He's pushing almost 600 OBP, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have it in front of me right now, so I don't
you're
want to
right,
be misquoted. But and what do you need in front of Charlie? You guys on base.
Yeah.
And because I don't blame guys. Does it? If you don't have somebody on base in front of Charlie, it just makes it real easy for him to put up 4 fingers and send him to first base.
How is Charlie? You saw a lot of walks this past weekend. I would assume he's going to probably see a lot of walks now moving forward. How is he dealing with that? I mean, I know he's a patient guy. Times I've talked to him about it, kind of brushes off. So it's not an issue, but do you sense at all any kind of frustration with him with that?
No, I mean, I'm constantly talking to him about it as Coach Coggin is, and it's like, all right, hey, when they are going to pitch to you, be very disciplined in what you're looking for. You got to have that big league approach a lot. I talked to a couple of guys from the Twins, called me or texted me this morning, and just talking about different things randomly in their life, and it makes you go back like I've been around some special hitters, and
Sure.
Louis Arias.
Yeah.
Louis won 2 batting titles, and Louis has a very solid approach. And if he comes up and they stick him with a fastball in, he's just gonna move on. I mean, he knows he struggles to hit that pitch, or he used to. He doesn't anymore.
I'm about to say, yeah. I know, yeah.
Right?
I know, yeah.
Stay with me.
Yeah.
But I mean, if he gets stuck in his zone, maybe I should put it that way, that he's okay with it.
Yeah.
And they go back and nothing changes. Nobody's hitting a panic button or going, oh, he can't hit. They just, that's his hole. He knows it. If they get it there, it's tip your hat and move on. And that's kind of where we've tried to get Charlie. Like, hey, you know what you do really well. Don't expand your zone. If they get lucky and land the perfect slider on you and the perfect fastball on you, then we're going to come back to the dugout and everybody's going to be fine with it. It's really hard to do that, though.
Yeah, easier said than done.